Hey everybody, welcome. I'm back again. I am live on my profile page and I'm back with the mic. I haven't been on a Facebook Live here in a hot minute, and also without the mic, I've been on portrait style, not landscape, and I've been without the mic and a whole bunch of things. And I actually just recently did a video in my Facebook group with the music, and I haven't been back on the music, so I'm back in the space and I have so many new people in my space, so I decided to come on and do a chat and just kind of like talk about some things with you guys. I actually wanted to talk about some things that I found I think are interesting, and I want to bring notice to them. And I actually want to do this in like a very loving way, but also a very real and honest way. And I wanted to talk about some really big things. And for me to accurately talk about these really big things, I need to do them in my group. So what I think I'm going to say is, if you guys want to catch me on March 12th and March 11th, it's going to be March 11th in the US, and then March 12th here, Australia time. I'm going to be in my group and I'm going to do a live in there. And this live is going to be really honest. And I'm going to talk about like some really fun things, like how to set up an Instagram shop, how to set up a Facebook shop, how to set up a podcast, how to do all these fun things. Like I'll talk about all the diversification concepts about getting your products and your brand out there. But I'm also going to talk about some industry patterns I've been noticing recently. And I'm grateful for noticing them. That means I'm up-leveling and I'm being surrounded by more powerful women, which is really fun and exciting. But I'm also seeing the flaws in the industry. And this is a really big thing, and this needs to be spoken about. It needs to bring attention. It needs to be awareness, especially for a lot of you women who are trying to break through that 10K month or that 100K month and turn into a six-figure coach. There's a lot of scarcity out there, and there's a lot of lack underneath the facade of a six-figure coach. And I want to bring some really important particular conversations to you guys about some facades that are really running through the industry right now. And I think it's our duty as the women who are on the receiving end of this to really put a stance to certain things, as well as the women that are engaging with this kind of behavior in the industry. It's not good for the overall health of our industry. The coaching and mentorship world is so powerful and so potent, but when you don't stand in alignment, and when you don't stand in alignment to who and what the industry is becoming, then there is a shake. And it's not what one coach does. So she gives me permission to have allowance now to lie about my income or lie about what I'm making and doing. This is horrible. There's also a lot of coaches out there that are there's a lot of coaches out there that are getting their funds and their money and are getting their funds and monies through the industry, but and that's great. Like, they're supposed to get their money through the industry, but it's not the way that they're showing you online. There's different ways of increasing your revenue within the industry, and there's different methods and theologies, and there's a reason why master classes and masterminds are so important, and those containers are so powerful, because they're networking opportunities. A large part of the coaching and mentorship world is based on network marketing and networking itself. A lot of networking is the foundations behind our industry. Doesn't necessarily have to do with how well you do your work. It depends on how well you can present your work and sell it. Does this mean this is the right thing? No. But we all have our different powerhouses of what we do. That's why business coaching is easy to step into, because you can sell one part of an aspect or another. And nothing is wrong with that. That is powerful. That's important. Our industry is giving a breath of fresh air and a breakthrough in even networking marketing, a breakthrough for women to liberate them financially. And we need to stand together and own that and say yes to it and say, yes, I liberate myself and I'm getting the wealth and it's on and we're doing it. And baby, it's like on like Donkey Kong. I don't even know if it does anymore. It's very 90s. or 80s even, I don't know, that those eras. But what we need to keep in mind is, as we're liberating and we're receiving the wealth and we're doing all that, we have obligations to our ethics. We have importance to the ethics of the way that we conduct as a broadband of industries put together. So our industry as a coaching industry is not just the coaching industry, it's the networking industry, it's the marketing industry, it's the online service industry, it is the spiritual industry, it is the life coach industry, it is the health coach. It is so many different dynamics of industry inside of it. And because we are a melting pot in a sense, in one way or another, a melting pot of women attributing to this, we need to hold those attributes. We need to diversify our place in the market and not conform to the quick dollar buck. What needs to happen is an education and a movement within the industry and the way that we present and we connect and we integrate and interact with it. So we've really pushed the money thing where we should invest and everything like that, and that's healthy, that's great, that's what's striving and creating this industry to actually really work. Because a lot of what's behind of all of this is to make sure the industry flourishes and grows. But sometimes we do it out of that scarcity, that lack mentality, and this is very detrimental. So in my masterclass, we're going to chat and talk about different ways of doing this correctly, different ways of bringing different platforms of integrity to different spaces, and how to proliferate and propagate a proper way of advancing this industry in different ways of educating and lenses and conversations that we want to have. In my Facebook group, we're going to have some real conversations. We talk about some real things, some really big things that you haven't even heard on my podcast yet or anywhere else. And you're going to find them inside that group, because I'm about to be breaking some big bounds here right now with these topics, and some big bounds with the energy that we need to transform in this industry to make big legacy. And that means we need to step up our game. Saturn is coming around, and we gotta listen to the regulations and integrations that we need to make sure that this industry is actually something to be proud of. And it is something to be proud of, but we don't want it to crumble inside. And one of the really interesting things I heard recently on a podcast I was purging, can't remember if it was Becoming Iconic with Jen Spiegel, or if it was a Tori Washington interview, or if it was Jenna Black, I don't know, one of the podcasts I was listening to. And they said that the industry is only as strong as what we make it. And that means that we have this integrity and this defined obligation to make sure what we're saying and preaching out to the external is the truth. That we're not fabricating something, or we're trying to future project or over project this infiltration, or this explosion to adding a couple of 10,000s or whatever onto our amount that we're making is really, really bad to the industry. And it's nice to have a desire and manifest and all of that, but what really needs to happen is that we need to integrate our truth and our wealth inside what we're already doing. Not trying to achieve something because somebody else did it and we need to get there. So I'm going to bring in the conversation, talking about the different pieces of the market space, different pieces of the industry, and how we can connect that together and how we can bring it forward more. I'm going to talk about diversification, we talk about products, landing pages, talking about sales, talking about how we as a collective of women, what our mission is of this industry, how important it is that we don't all go into business and we don't all go into like these certain coachings that are hype and make sexy money. Instead, we start educating and start creating a culture. We start focusing on culture generating inside our industry and our market space, and understand that we are the ones as a collective, a group, even the new ones coming in, we can shift and change the way that the industry is made, and really start developing the tools to be like, yeah, great, like I'm so happy, I love money, I'm gonna receive it, I'm gonna have it's gonna be all the wealth, and yes, and more, and bring me some and some more. But also, I want that money, give me that money, it's happening, and this is the truth. This is what I'm doing. This is other things and other values. And my money is not just the value that I'm saying I make. My money is in other topics and other details I bring into the table. And then on our consumer end, we need to catch ourselves and train ourselves and rewrite the way that we're engaging with the market. Because a lot of times people just want the dollars, people want this, want that, but we need to train ourselves on the consumer end not to look for the quick fix, not to do that. Look for the integrity, look for the really be smart consumers and smart individuals. I get the pressure of reality, I understand the intensity of that, but let's focus into being smart consumers and smart receivers instead of really like nervous system dysregulated individuals who are like frantically like, give me the answers, we need this, like give me that. We need to really, in the container inside my Facebook group, I'll go into detail of like how to actually navigate these things and like what to search for and what to look for when you're becoming a smart consumer, and how to tap into that more and go deeper into it. And what does it mean to be on the receiving end of an industry that may or may not be going in the wrong direction? And if it is, what are we going to do about it? And if it is not going in the wrong direction, it goes in the right directions, how do we cultivate more of that? How do we bring more focus onto these amazing positive things that are happening in the industry already? And we're so excited, we want to be part of the industry already. And how do we start to bring it forward and cultivate it and pay focus? How do we reward good actions? How do we reward good experiences? It is our duty as the audience, as the participants, as everybody, as coaches, as the mentors, as every part of this industry, is to start gravitating towards the better standards, the better conductings of this industry. A lot of people are faking their numbers. A lot of people are flabbergasting what they really have and what they don't have. They're hiding because they're afraid to show up. We'll talk about the psychology of that inside the container, inside my Facebook group. It's free. Just come in and we'll chat about it. We'll talk about the psychology of it, and we'll talk about how it's okay, but we need to make it normal that you can say your failures. And it's not because, we want to see you fail. It's because when you kind of show the truth and you show what's happening, you are actually bringing light to shame that women carry. And that's shame and that guilt that women carry is what makes us pin against each other and makes us do things that are not in alignment. So this is the invitation to like talk about these truths of the industry that's happening right now. I've seen a lot of coaches not do what they're supposed to do, and we'll chat about it in the container. We'll talk about it in detail, and we'll talk about what diversification means. We'll talk about what different alignments mean, and we'll talk about how the industry is growing and developing and getting bigger, and what those different parts and those structures and those standards and those beautiful pieces of our industry means for us, and how us leading women in the foreground of this industry can really activate and amplify something powerful. So once again, it's going to be on the 11th in the US and the 12th in Australia time. In my Facebook group, check out my profile. You guys know where to find me. It's there. And I want you at the table. I want you in the conversation. I want you in the space. I want you to give feedback. I want you to feel into this topic. I'm really going to call some things out in that group. That's why I'm not saying it all here. But I want to tell you that there's a lot about this market space that needs to be revealed. There's a lot that's not being spoken about. And a lot of women are trying to compare themselves, and even at the topper levels, comparing themselves, and they're copying each other and all this. And nothing is wrong with that. Just own it. Just say it. Like, okay, this is what's happening. But I want to give space for honesty. I want to give space for like, will you actually show up and say the truth? Will you actually tell the truth of like what you're lying and trying to have a facade about? Like, are you going to actually be truthful? And a lot of women won't, because they're so afraid of this lie and this thing that they've set up and they've made, and they don't really know how to approach it. So I want to hold space in this container for us to be really smart coaches and mentors. And if we're on the consuming receiving side, we're on the consuming and receiving side. So we can shift and we can pay attention and become more aware of what's happening, and we can actually be the example against that, to stop that lying and stop that, so it becomes more honest. So I'm just calling it as it is. It's like this honeymoon stage when you kind of like rip the veil off the industry and you're like, wait, there's a lot happening there, and oh my god, like I can't believe it. But I want to chat and tell you guys that. So that's what's happening. It's gonna be on March 11th USD, and then March 12th Australia time. It's gonna be in my Facebook group. Go and join into that Facebook group, and we will chat about that beautiful magic. And there will be some really good nuggets in there. I'm going to talk about shops, diversification, products, selling, podcasts, and then I'm going to actually talk about some of the truths in the industry that's occurring right now, especially around six-figure coaches, because it's a funny time period where they're trying to make it and be that person, and really talk about that, what's happening in that container, in that space there, and how we really need to fix a lot of things in this industry so it works properly. And what we have to offer and what we have to do for it is really important. So I really want to bring this to the table so you actually have something to like tap into, understand what's going on, really understand the market, understand how to fix what's already broken, and stop having these leaks and these parts of the industry that is not healthy for us. So there's a lot happening in this space. I have a lot of goodies to tell you and teach you guys and let you guys know, and also bring awareness, and then let you know the roles and the places we can play inside the market space, because there is so much good stuff that we can do inside the space, and there's so much good opportunity, and I can't wait for us to make it something beautiful and something to be extremely proud of. And there is lots of parts to be proud of, but there's also a lot of people that are just trying to struggle and just do things, and you're like, oh, why did you do that? That's not good integrity. But it's okay, because we are all learning, and we all have steps, and we all have things that we're good at and we're not good at, or we're flawed, or whatever the case is, or we all have things that we're good at and we're not good at, and it's fine. We'll just all work together to make it a beautiful place and a better industry. And there's so much opportunity and growth. It's really exciting because we can really have this opportunity to tap into different market spaces and industries. And I will let you know and teach you what really happens behind closed doors, and what really happens in the industry, and what makes someone successful and what doesn't. It has nothing to do with social media marketing. It is about networking. Our industry is based on networking. And when women stop realizing that it's not about marketing, it's not a social network, it's not about marketing, it's about networking, then everything will change for you. But you do also have to put the money down, invest into the spots that you need to be so you can network. That's point blank what this is all about: networking and connection. This industry is based on that. It's not about marketing and social media and blah blah blah. If you're in the Facebook side of this industry and you're not using your Instagram as much, and you're focusing in Facebook to get a lot of followers or getting a lot of people, it's all about networking. And I was just absolutely shocked at what I've learned in this past 2.5 months. And there's a lot of information to share with you guys. So I'm going to share it all in the Facebook group. If you guys want to learn more, let me up and I will let you in, and we will talk about all the juices and everything you should know and you need to know, and the truth about the industry and how this industry works, especially in the six-figure realm, the 6 to 7-figure realm of coaches. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it per se, but it depends on how honest and how much honesty is going to be with it, and how much truth is going to be said into it. The thing is wrong if you're honest and you're forefront and you're just kind of like laying it out and be like, this is the truth, this is what's happening. But if you're not saying it, then why are you not saying it? Why is there something that's being hidden? Why is there something being not disclosed? So yeah, I will let you guys know all the details and all the information. I'm so excited to be sharing this with you guys. It is really good information. I just sound like really, really like intense and like, oh, we're going after anybody. We're really not. We're just trying to make the place. We're just trying to make the industry a better place, but not just that. Like, we're not trying to be martyrs or anything like that, but just information. This is important. This is how you become successful in the coaching world, and this is what's going to really help you. This is the information nobody wants to tell you because they want you to pay into containers and getting it. And I don't mind telling you because I want a higher advancement. I don't want that container to be the highest potentiality that you reach. I want to give you this as the baseline so you can go way higher than this. And then there's a new baseline where you get to surpass other industries and bigger things. And there's a huger potential to be playing in and being in. That's what's important. You having access of information and you building from that higher platform while understanding the goal of the industry and the goal of yourself, not the way that it pre-existed for like marketing and money and dollar bills, which is nothing is wrong with that. Get that money. I love money. Like, do it. But we have an industry to build. We have standards to make. We have authority to build. And to build through its true authority and through true things, you really have to work with a lot of other aspects of the industry, and it's so powerful. So I will see you guys. Yeah, so when you're working with that, it's really important to have that real authority in that space. And that's what this industry is really about. All right, I will chat with you guys later. And yeah, join my Facebook group. It's going to be lots of fun things in there. And I hope to see you guys all there. And when you're building your authority and you're building your information and your stance in this industry, just make sure that you are creating from the stance that you are advancing this industry. You want to advance this industry. You want to advance the proximity in the space of this industry. You want to expand the different realms it goes into and how it works. And this is so important and so powerful. So I thank all of you for being here, and I will see you guys in the group March 11th, US, and then March 12th, Australia time. Bye, guys.